Alright guys, new bike day. So actually not a brand new bike, it's actually a secondhand. I bought it used. But it is my newest bike. It's a Specialized Tarmac SL6 Expert. I believe the Tarmac SL6 has different models available. There's like the Comp, there's the Expert, there's the Pro, and there's the S-Works, which is like AKA doctor, dentist, lawyer, slash type of bike. I'm just kidding, guys. That was just a joke. But the S-Works is like the very top of the line, and then below that there's the Pro, which has, I believe, similar components as the S-Works, minus the frame. And then there's the Expert. The Expert is kind of like in the middle. It comes with the Shimano Di2 electronic shifter setup. So they got the drivetrain Di2 electronic. It is not wireless, still has wire, but it's electronic, which I have to say, my very first time using it, it's very nice. I just came back from a maiden ride with this bike, and coming from a 2020 Giant Defy, I was expecting this bike to be a lot stiffer just because it's a performance bike and my Defy was an endurance bike. But riding this bike feels very similar to my Defy, yet the bottom area, the crank area, feels a little bit stiffer, which I'll get into it a little bit later. But just going over the bike, you can see it's got the Ultegra setup. We got the R8000 on the cranks, and then also the same thing for the rear derailleur. Di2, we got that 1130 cassette, Ultegra, hydraulic brakes. We got the Ultegra rotors. I got just my regular mountain bikes SPD pedals on here. Most guys would probably run the SPD SL, which is the 3 clip style. I just don't want to buy a whole bunch of new gear because I'm new to riding road bikes, and the last thing I want to do is spend too much money and not end up using it. So for now, I'm still wearing my mountain. Still wear my mountain bike shorts. I still wear my mountain bike shoes, and then sometimes I will go with clipless, and I just use these clips for now, and it works. They're heavy, but currently the total weight of this bike with the pedals, the water bottle cage, no bag, it's 17.5 pounds. With all my gear you see on here, the lights, the Garmin, the other light in the front, tail light, and the seat bag with a tube, 2 CO2s, 2 tire levers, the CO2 inflator head, a tubeless patch repair kit, and also a tube repair kit. It comes out to 19.2 pounds, so still a pretty light bike for what all of the stuff I have on here. Going on to here, Ultegra, standard shifters. I got the regular stock Specialized bars on here. The stem, this is what came with the bike when I bought it. I believe it's the Trek Bontrager or Bontrag, whatever, stem with the little mount. It's a 110, longer than what I would use, but I have to say, the bike, the way it is, it's a very comfortable bike. It has a higher rise to it, and it is long. And according to the specs on the Tarmac versus my 2020 Defy Advance 1, everything on the specs, the numbers shows that the Tarmac is a much longer bike on the top tube and the reach. But when I'm riding it, it doesn't feel like a long bike at all. It's a very comfortable bike. The wheels on here, they're the Roval C38 carbons with the S-Works turbo tires on here. I believe everything is stock on this bike minus the stem and my pedals. I also installed, well, this is what I installed from my Defy, the Ultegra left-sided power meter. It has the Shimano power meter, which is the same as the the 4 eyes. The seat on here, it's the Specialized power seat. I'm not sure if this is actually stock or if the guy installed this, but this seat is actually a very comfortable seat. It's not as long as a standard seat. It looks like it's a shorter but wider here, and I should say it's a very comfortable ride. Like, I did a almost 18 mile ride, just the same route that I go with on the Defy, and nothing in my body was in pain. Like, my legs were not sore, were not in pain, were not straining on anything on certain part of my legs, my arms, my back, my rear, my butt. My butt wasn't hurting like it did on the Defy. It's a very compliant ride. So that's that's pretty neat. They're not tubeless tires, they're still running a tube with the S-Works turbo gription tires on here. But besides that, you know, the difference between the two models, the endurance versus this performance or slash race bike, it's not that much of a difference. I was expecting this one before I bought it. I was expecting to be like a much longer reach, more aggressive, but it feels very nice, and I have to say it's I'm enjoying it. I didn't get a lot of PRs today because initially on the ride, just the start of the ride, there was a strong headwind, so I was going a lot slower. But on the way back, I was hitting PRs, going like anywhere between 20 seconds to 30 seconds quicker on the way back. So it could have been the wind just helping me push. So not really a fair comparison to see if it's a much faster bike. But one thing I noticed off the bat was off the seat sprinting. When I'm off the seat doing a quick sprint for a couple seconds, on the tarmac, the power gets delivered instantly to the rear and the bike just goes. On my 2020 Giant Defy, I felt like it was still stiff on the bottom, but what I noticed with that bike is when I do a quick sprint, it takes a while and it seems like the bike kind of winds up and then it whips forward. This one is just when you go like on a climb or anything like that, you doing a quick sprint, it just shoots you forward. On the Defy, it takes a slight second, and then you feel it kind of wind up and then it shoots you forward. So that's the difference of what I noticed. Steering, I felt like this one was a little bit slower on the steering, maybe because, you know, it has the longer stem instead of the shorter stem. My Defy had 100 millimeters, it's a 110, and also this one, the stem is facing up. It's just running with a regular rise. On my Defy, I actually had that flipped around, and I was running the stem with the rise facing down to give me more of an arrow, you know, ride to it. But the steering felt a little bit slower on here, but besides that, I mean, not much of a difference, to be honest. This color on here is the blue camel. It's a gorgeous looking color, like especially in the sun. It has like a bluish, kind of like a slight tint of purple to it, but you have to see this in person to appreciate this color scheme, because when you see it in pictures or videos, it doesn't really come out right. But when you see it in person and when the sun hits off of it, oh, it's an amazing bike. I also installed this little cheap carbon fiber mount for my Garmin. I got a little blinker here, and I also have the Specialized Flash 500 on here just to be safe when I'm riding. So you can see the tube here. It's pretty narrow. You know, oh, the hubs on these Robo C38s, they're the DT Swiss 350. I believe the stock star ratchet in the gearing here on the free body, it's a 18 tooth, so you can also buy the 32 and also the 54 tooth star ratchet if you want a faster engagement. I think I'm going to go with a 54 just to get that awesome little buzzing sound and also to get a faster engagement. But having the 18 tooth, it's a lot stronger, slightly slower engagement, which you don't really need if you're just riding on the straights in the first place. But it's quiet, so it's pretty nice when you're coming up somebody. It's not buzzing loud like my Defy with the super loud hub that I had on there. Okay, the seat post here is the S-Works seat post. It's got a 20 it's got also the 20. It's not straight. I actually like it. It's not too bad. I like the way that it sits. Like when I'm riding, I don't have to scoot forward. I don't feel like I have to scoot forward or anything like that. It's really comfortable. The only thing I did notice too between my Defy and the Tarmac was the toe overlap. So when I'm riding slow, like in a parking lot, and I put my shoes, you know, clipped in, it will touch the tire. My Defy still had a very slight gap between my front of my shoe and the front tire. On the Tarmac, I actually touch it if I'm going slow, so just gotta remember that, especially guys with big shoes. I don't have a big shoe. I wear a size 9.5, and you know, guys who are riding this size 54 frame probably wear like a 10, 11, or even a size 12 shoes. So it's a size 54. It's got a lot of spacers down here, so you can still shorten that a little bit, but pretty much that's the quick look at my 2020 Specialized Tarmac SL6. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be doing some more videos of this bike very soon. If you guys are interested, if you guys want to see more info, just let me know in the comment box below, and I'll be sure to try to get some videos for you guys. But besides that, I mean, I don't ride a lot of bikes, so I really can't compare it to a lot of bikes. But I gotta say, from a regular consumer perspective, I've ridden the 2020 Giant Defy Advance 1, and this is the 2020 Specialized Tarmac. Both are my bikes. I bought it with my money. I bought this bike secondhand, so it's not a brand new bike, but it rides pretty good. It's very compliant. I was expecting it to be a very rough ride just because I'm running 100 psi. It's running tubes. I'm not running tubeless. But the rear feels very nice. Going over the same bumps, cracks, little ruts in the road on the bike path, it's good. It feels very good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free, just leave a comment in the comment box below, and I'll try my best to answer them. So see you guys later. Thanks for watching.